Ho'oponopono je drevna havajska vještina rješavanja problema koja se temelji na principima potpune odgovornosti. Problemi su sjećanja, ponavljanja programa iz naše prošlosti kako bismo ih bolje uočili. U havajskom rječniku ova se vještina definira kao mentalno čišćenje, jer za drevne Havajce svi problemi su nastajali kao misao, ali imati misao nije problem. Problem je što su misli natopljene bolnim sjećanjima koje sam intelekt nije u stanju riješiti. Ho'oponopono polazi od pretpostavke da je sve u svijetu povezano. Što se događa u našoj stvarnosti odraz je događaja sukladne vibracije. Problem u kojem smo se našli, problemi koje imamo sami sa sobom, jer princip potpune odgovornosti podrazumijeva ideju da je sve što postoji u našoj stvarnosti projekcija iz našeg unutarnjeg svijeta. Ho'oponopono je dakle proces oslobađanja štetnih energija iz naše podsvijesti kroz oproštaj, pokajanje i preobražaj. Kako se to radi? Kako očistiti ili otpustiti destruktivne energije iz naše podsvijesti koje uzrokuju poremećaj, bolesti ili nevolje? Čini se da nije tako komplicirano, pa smo Ho'oponopono ugostili ovdje, na rubu znanosti. Dobro večer. Mabel Katz, učiteljica je Ho'oponopona i voditeljica seminara o toj tehnici i autorica knjiga o toj tehnici koju smo posvetili večerašnju emisiju. Dobro večer ili dobar dan, ovisno vremenu kad ću go gledati ovu emisiju.
It's a pleasure to be here and thank you so much for the invitation.
Jedva smo eto naučili izgovoriti kako se kaže Ho'oponopono, a odmah se nameće sljedeće pitanje, što jest Ho'oponopono?
Well, Ho'oponopono first, the only thing that has difficult is the name, because it's too simple. Ho'oponopono is a Hawaiian word that means how to correct an error, how to bring peace in your life. Ho'oponopono says everything in our life is a repeat of memories, replay of memories. So the only way to resolve problems is erasing them instead of talking to them.
Primijetio sam da riječ pono ima jako puno značenja, dobrota, poštenje, blagostanje, dobrobit, dužnost, moralno pogodno, pravilno, pravedno, ispravno, čestito, pošteno, korisno, uspješno. Očito su htjeli u jednoj riječi obuhvatiti puno toga. Na koji način su ti drevni Havajci koji su prakticirali Ho'oponopono to radili?
Well, I didn't know it had so many meanings, so thank you. Basically, when you are at peace, you can have prosperity and you can have peaceful relationships and everything that you want to attract in your life because you are at peace. So when you correct those errors, the part of you that is always talking, is always having opinions, the beliefs and everything, you can be at peace. Once you are at peace, once you are kind of in the void, you know, no so much talking or so much engaged in the emotions, you bring peace, everything comes.
Stari Havajci su na neki način zahtijevali da bude prisutna cijela obitelj, pa su jedan od drugog tražili oproste i slično. To u zadnje vrijeme, to je zapravo nešto što danas već mogli smo reći zastarili način tehnike Ho'oponopono.
Exactly. So we were really, we are grateful to Morna Simeona, that is the one that updated it to the modern times. Because it's no longer possible for the whole family to be present, yes, at the same time, at the same place. So she updated it, so now we can do it at home, individually, and with the years, I have to tell you, you know, when I learned Ho'oponopono in 1997, we thought that we were cleaning with certain people, certain things in our life. Now we know there is nobody out there. And it's just my thoughts of the people, my thoughts of there is a world economical crisis, a war. So now I work on my thoughts, and whatever gets erased from me, gets erased from everybody.
Možemo još koju riječ reći o pozadini tradicijskoj Ho'oponopona, naime, ta osoba Morna Simeona koja je, kako kažu, i kćerka posljednje havajske kraljice, koja ima jednako teško ime za izgovoriti, Liliou, Galani i tako dalje, jest pripadnica jedne tradicije koja se zove kahuna, o kojoj se ponekad može čuti na zapadu, ali ne baš često, u kontekstu hakugana vraćevi, kahuna magije, pa onda se može vidjeti da hode u polavi i slično. Što je to u stvari kahuna?
Well, Kahuna is the guardian of the secrets. You know, before there were a lot of secrets, no? But it was for a few that could know this. But now all these secrets are out there, available to all of us, common people, because we are ready. We are ready to evolve. We are ready to find out who we really are and resolve problems in a different way, or see them, perceive them in a completely different way. So Morna was actually awarded because of this work of Ho'oponopono, because again, it brings a lot of peace, not only in your personal life, but it works in your professional life and in the work.
U tom jednom povijesnom kronološkom slijedu događaja vezanih uz Ho'oponopono, nakon tog imena Morna Simeone, često će svako kog će to zanimati na internetu uglavnom nailaziti na jednog liječnika havajskog koji se zove Ihaliakala Hulen, ako sam dobro izgovorio. Ono što je on u stvari iskusio i na koji način je on saznao ili počeo primjenjivati Ho'oponopono je doista dramatična priča. Kako je on saznao za Ho'oponopono ili je možda znao od prije i što se događalo kad je on odjednom na jedan doista neobičan način poboljšao stanje u ustanovi u kojoj je bio liječnik?
You know, he was a clinical psychologist and he meets Morna. He goes, somebody tells him about Morna and the training. He said that he couldn't sit for a whole training just once, you know. He would come and then get up in the middle of the training and leave. She would think, you know, is this lady crazy or what? And suddenly, you know, he would come back a second time, a third time. I don't know if he said by the fifth time, he was able to take the whole training. And what he noticed, for example, that a daughter of his that had an allergy that no doctors could cure, when he brought his daughter to Morna, the allergy disappeared in a month or something like that. He noticed how people that came to Morna in the middle of the consultation said, "Oh, Morna, thank you, you know, I feel better." And Morna didn't do anything, didn't even look at their eyes. You know, she was busy doing things. And he said, I'm a clinical psychologist. I learned that I have to look at people's eyes, that I have to feel compassion, you know, for their problem. But he could see that Morna looked like somewhere else. Now we know better. She was doing the cleaning, like we call it, the Ho'oponopono cleaning. And people would get, oh, thank you, Morna, I feel better. So he started noticing the things, and then he got the position of the mental hospital, and he was able to practice this, and without doing any sessions, you know, without talking to these people and asking, why did you kill your mother, or why did you abuse your sister, you know? And he started working on this, because Ho'oponopono is, what is it in me that this person killed? What is it in me that there is a world economic crisis? What is it in me? That doesn't make us guilty, it makes us responsible. So when I take responsibility and I erase it in me, it gets erased in everybody. So without having the usual sessions, he started seeing how these people started getting healed and going home. They were willing to take responsibility. He noticed, like the nurses that used to call sick all the time, who wanted to work there, you know. Now they would come every day. They noticed that the paint on the walls would stay on the walls. Otherwise, the paint always was peeling, you know. There were a lot of things that he started noticing. Less medication to the people in the hospital. So people that were there were always people in seclusion, you know, with chains and things like that. No more people in seclusion. So he started seeing changes, and, you know, he started paying more attention.
Dobro da nije zaslužio otkaz, s obzirom da, koliko sam pročitao, cijeli odjeli te psihijatrijske klinike su zapravo bili zatvoreni nakon Ho'oponopona. Kada se slušaju intervjui sa Ihaliakalom i Hulenom na internetu, zanimljivo je vidjeti koje je on prvo pitanje postavio sebi kad je došao na to mjesto i kad je vidio sve te ljude koji su vrlo opasni u lancima, kao što ste rekli, sve te medicinske sestre, bolničare kojima je zlo od njihovog posla i od te cijele atmosfere koja je odisala jednim strahom i nasiljem i svime. I u stvari, vjerojatno poučen ovim tečajem koji ste spominjali mornim, on je sebe zapitao ne kako pomoći tim ljudima, nego kako bismo to kolokvijalno rekli, što sam ja kriv da sam se ovdje našao? Nešto u tom smislu, ako sam dobro shvatio. Ne bismo rekli kriv. Znači, njegovo prvo pitanje je bilo usmjereno u sasvim neočekivanom smjeru.
Yeah, so usually you try to fix people. You try to help people because you think they are out there. So now when I know that these people show up in my life to give me one more time, one more chance, to clean, to erase whatever is in me that is attracting, suddenly you look and you perceive people, situations in a completely different way. And now you can change them. See, when you put it outside of you, you feel a victim, no? Or you feel that you are impotent, or what are you going to do? You are so little. But now we realize we are so big, so powerful, because that power is inside of us. And if we change the inside, it changes the outside. So that's how I do it. Actually, when he was hired in the hospital, he said, I don't need to come. You just give me the names of the people there, and I can do it from home. And the boss said, if I need to put you on the payroll and I have to pay you a salary, you have to come. People have to see you. So, he showed up every day, but he just did the work on himself. Again, what is it in me? So knowing that if you are here to clean, to erase memories, and that every person in your life, every situation in your life is just an opportunity to do that and to rediscover who you really are.
Ihelja Hulin je radio 4 godine u toj državnoj bolnici, Hawaii State Hospital, na tom odjelu za mentalno bolesne kriminalce, da ne zaboravimo to spomenuti, među kojima su izbijala 3 do 4 sukoba dnevno i slično. Što se dogodilo nakon te 4 godine? Prestao je tamo raditi, je li za svoj rad zainteresirao druge liječnike i psihologe u drugim bolnicama, ili je priča ostala jednostavno na njemu?
Well, I'll tell you, when I met him, he didn't actually have any jobs or anything that he would have a fixed salary that he knows that he can live with. And I know that this is what he told us, that actually Morna one day called him and says, your job at the hospital is done. That's it. And he thought, that's it? Yeah. And you cannot come back, or go back to the... So he couldn't even go to a goodbye party that they prepared for him, because Morna said, you are not supposed to go there anymore. So, and since then, he never got a job. But he would receive money in envelopes, via mail, because people that he cleaned with or people that consulted with him, but he didn't even charge people for doing that. But he would receive, people will send money to him. And he had a lot of anecdotes, I think, that he shared with me, about how money used to come to him, where, he would make commitments with people and say, but I don't have the money, he would have this conversation and says, do it. And then, an envelope will come with exactly the amount of money that he needed to make that commitment. So it is a completely different way of looking at life.
Čini mi se da bi Hugh Lane mogao steći dosta sljedbenika. Prvo je predložio ideju da čovjek ne mora dolaziti na posao, poslije je dao otkaz i tek tada počeo zarađivati i slično. A sve je počelo te rečenice, iscijelio sam onaj dio mene koji je stvorio te probleme oko mene. Možemo sada se pozabaviti sa te 4 rečenice po kojima je danas Ho'oponopono već pomalo slavan. Ja sam u zadnjih par mjeseci osobno iz nekog razloga od raznih ljudi iz Hrvatske primao mailom nekakve prijedloge kao za tu emisiju, kao oni koriste Ho'oponopono u svakodnevnom životu, poboljšava im se obiteljska situacija i slično. I naravno, obično najjednostavnije stvari su najteže za prihvatiti, jer nitko ne vjeruje da nešto jednostavno može na svijetu funkcionirati. Kada bismo preveli sve ovo što smo pričali u 4 rečenice koje se obično predstavljaju kroz Ho'oponopono, koje bi to bile?
Okay. So first I'm going to surprise you. For example, I don't teach the 4 phrases. The 4 phrases became famous thanks to Joe Vitale and the word Zero Limits, the book Zero Limits. And that was his interpretation of Ho'oponopono. You just said, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, and I love you. I'm going to surprise you because Ho'oponopono could be even easier than that. You can just say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, even if you don't feel it, or I love you, I love you, I love you. No, I could say I love you, I love you, mentally, okay? So what am I doing? And yes, you are right, it's so simple. The intellect cannot understand anything that is simple. First, it needs to complicate it a little bit to be able to understand it. So I always said, Ho'oponopono, you need to understand it with your heart. There is no way, even if you are Croatian, that your intellect will understand Ho'oponopono, will never understand it. It's something that it either clicks or it doesn't click in you. And it says, well, maybe there is an easier way. When we say the 4 phrases, or when I say just thank you, and I repeat thank you, I'm actually pressing the delete key in my computer. Because a problem is just a program that is playing that shows up in the monitor. So in life, I have 2 choices only. I talk to the monitor and I say, how come, why me, how many times I told you, okay? But the monitor cannot do anything, or I press the delete key. So the thank you or the I love you, it's a way of pressing the delete key. So when I press the thank you and the I love you, I like, or the 4 phrases are like keywords, or a passcode, okay? And when I do that, it's the same as repeating, I'm sorry, please forgive me for whatever is in me that created this. So 100% responsibility, repentance as a little boy or girl, not as a sinner, or that you are guilty. No, I'm responsible for whatever is playing in me. And now I can choose to delete instead of talking to monitors. Talking to monitors bring more problems, more programs, that then I have to erase. So a lot of people, for example, ask, who am I saying it to? And I said, listen, nobody outside of you, don't worry, okay? So you're telling it to yourself, whatever works for you, okay? The other question, do I have to feel it? Do I have to mean it? And I said, when you work with the computer, you actually have to be happy in order for your computer to erase, or you have to have a good day. No, you press, no? And this is the same thing, press it. When you say thank you, you are pressing. When you are saying I love you, you are pressing. So something is happening. If we are talking about in the scientific or business world, the accepted, when I say thank you or I say I love you, it's being proactive, like Stephen Covey says on the 7 habits of highly effective people. I've been proactive, I'm not reactive. I also don't wait for a problem to come in order to do it. So, no, I don't have to feel it, I don't need to mean it, and I don't need to know how the computer works for it to erase. I just need to remember how to press. So I'm here to remind people that just saying thank you or I love you, it is a way of giving permission to a part of your computer that knows better to erase whatever you are ready to let go.
Dobro, prvo su znači bile 4 kratke rečenice, onda je na kraju bila samo jedna ili ni jedna, pa onda o čemu ste pisali na 150 stranica? Što je to što ljude zanima i ne samo, nego čak u 2 knjige? Ili je to možda cijelo vrijeme jedna ista rečenica? Ne, nije. Ima raznog teksta.
Yeah, the 3, one for the kids. No, you know why? Krishmir, we have to reprogram ourselves. So it's not about me telling you, just say thank you or I love you. So, for example, in the seminars, I give a lot of information where I can show you how we actually work, because we are not a body. So how do we work? We work with, for example, with the inner child, that is our subconscious mind. Everything is happening at the subconscious level. It's not really in the physical. We tend to work on the physical. We think the problem is in the physical. It's not there. It is in my program that is playing in my subconscious mind that is showing up in the physical. So if I really want to heal something, I need to work on that, on the program, on the memory. So we need to remember who we are. We need to remember what a problem is. Who am I? The most important question in creation. And remember. So the idea is I come to wake you up, not to convince you that it's Ho'oponopono, because there could be other ways, but to wake up and do something. What we cannot keep doing is playing victims, for example. And Ho'oponopono looks as easy as, I'm going to teach you, just say thank you. But a lot of my own cleaning is what does the teachings. It's not about what I say, but it's the work behind. See, so that everybody can get what is right and perfect for them. I don't know what it is. So yes, I took the Ho'oponopono training myself maybe more than 200 times. Every time I have the opportunity to take it, I will retake it. Because again, I want my subconscious to listen to this information. My subconscious can do this cleaning as it does my breathing or as it pumps my heart without me thinking. I want to be able to be in automatic because I have a lot to clean. And I need all the help I can get. So when you say that, it is funny also. I wrote a children's book because I put all the messages that I wish I had when I grew up. I said, oh my goodness, my life would have been so different. And when I woke up, because I didn't believe in any of this, so I understand that people might have a problem, with what I'm saying. But I know that the way that I thought before, it didn't make me happy. I was a very unhappy person, even though that I had everything that a person thinks it needs to be happy. So when I woke up, as I call it, when I became more conscious, you know what I told my kids? I said, you can be happy now. Don't wait like me. So I'm saying, let's allow our kids to be themselves, because they know better. They know much more than us. So, for example, my children's book is for kids from 3 to 100 years old. The idea is we need to hear this information. We need to reprogram ourselves.
Dobro, ako nekome nisu dosta jednostavna objašnjenja, 1. i 2. prosinca 2012. je seminar Ho'oponopono u Zagrebu koji vi držite, mislim u hotelu Antunović, ali u međuvremenu bismo mogli malo probati zadovoljiti intelekt pa poslušati, to jest objasniti na koji način bi u stvari pozadina tog procesa djelovala. Što stoji u njegovoj pozadini? Naime, danas dosta ljudi može prihvatiti ideju da imaju podsvjesne programe koje utječu na njihovo zdravlje, na njihove reakcije, ponašanje, pa naravno dobivaju određene reakcije koje su ovakve ili onakve. Međutim, daleko je teže prihvatiti ideju da je sve što se čovjeku događa, koliko god da znamo da se sve zbiva u ovoj crnoj rupi u mozgu koji dekodira električne impulse i stvara sliku, da se ipak ovaj cijeli vanjski svijet nalazi unutra, pa da sad mi imamo neke veze kao što je ovaj doktor Hugh Len na neki način liječio sve te pacijente pitajući se što je sa mnom loše da su oni došli u moj život i slično, odnosno ne loše, nego gdje je tu moja odgovornost. Koja je to onda pozicija s kojoj Ho'oponopono kreće kada se priča o tome što je priroda svijeta i stvarnosti i da se uopće može čovjeku predočiti da je sve što vidi i doživljava svaki susret. Da ne pričamo o velikim i globalnim katastrofama u kojima se čovjek nađe pa će reći sigurno nije moj odraz mene ovaj svjetski rat u kom sam se odjednom slučajno našao. Koja je ta perspektiva iz koje Ho'oponopono gleda na svijet? Odnosno, čini se dijametralno suprotnom od one na koju smo naučeni.
Okay, so first I would like to share with you a scientific proof, okay? I had a doctor that came to, well, I have many doctors that come, but a doctor that came in Ecuador and brought me a book, and he said, not only here is everything you told us so far, but now you're not going to be able to say you don't have scientific proof. So he introduced me to Dr. Jill Bolte Taylor, a doctor in U.S., a brain scientist, that she has a stroke in the left side of the left hemisphere of the brain, and she loses completely the left side. But she has surgery, she goes through rehabilitation, but she remembers. And she says that because we have a left hemisphere, we can be in this world, because all the functions that we need in order to operate in this world, like walking, eating, reading, talking, whatever, is handled by the left side. But she also realized that the left side is the one doing all the stories, having all the opinions and judgment, thinking it knows, and always taking us to the past or to the future. So we are never present. So she, as far as I know, did not come to any Ho'oponopono training. But you know how she stops her left hemisphere when it starts with the stories? It says, thank you, but no thank you, I'm not buying anymore. So the only ones that can do that, the only one that can stop our own stories is us. Now, you brought something very important, the war that we are in, that we are victims, my luck. You know what I tell people? When you watch television, not your show, okay? Especially the news, don't talk to the TV. The TV cannot do anything, it's like the monitor. So we say, it's going worse, what we are gonna do, there is nobody honest, there is nobody, okay. When I say thank you, instead of talking to the TV, I'm actually doing something. I mean, I'm creating a change in the world, because everything starts with thought. So this table could not be here unless somebody thought of this table before. Everything is thought. So after reading Dr. Jill Bolte Taylor's book, you know what my question was? Who thought of the human body if everything is thought? Who thought of the mountains or the oceans? So we need to realize that because we became educated and we have university degrees, I have 2, okay? That doesn't mean we know. And we need to become a little bit more humble, and we need to realize there is a more intelligent mind than ours, okay? That we are all connected to, and we could have that kind of information, but it doesn't come from education. It doesn't come from university, okay, titles. It comes from our connection to the whole universe, or who we really are. So if I want to bring peace in the world, I need to work on myself. What is it in me? If I want to heal, I need to heal whatever is in me that is not working. I cannot expect the world to be at peace for me to be at peace. I cannot expect to have that house in order to be happy. I cannot depend on feel free, because I have $100,000 in the bank. That's not how it works, because you and me already tried that. That's not where happiness is. You know what it brought me to the change? I didn't believe in any of this, like I said before. My oldest son one day talked to me like I used to talk to him, with that anger, with that resentment. That woke me up. I'm grateful to him for the rest of my life. Because when I saw it in him, I told myself, Mabel, you have to do something. I started my search. He woke me up. That's why I feel my mission is wake up others. I share my way, that is Ho'oponopono, because I know it is the easiest. I know not everybody will like simple, but I know it works. I used to be an accountant. I'm originally from Argentina, 29 years living in Los Angeles, in US. I specialize in taxes in US. I let go of all that to be able to travel the world with my message, because I have this urge to wake up others and say, stop seeing yourself as a victim. Stop choosing to suffer instead of saying thank you. Stop concentrating on what you think you lack and say thank you for what you have, because more comes. So again, everything starts with me. That's why I start my World Peace campaign that I presented in Vienna at the United Nations, where I said, peace begins with me. Peace within is world peace. So I cannot be waiting for governments. I cannot be waiting for my spouse or my children to behave or do things. It starts with me. And when I'm okay, my kids are okay, my work is okay, everything is okay.
U svakom slučaju ovaj trik sa oslobađanjem pomoću $100,000 još nisam imao prilike probati, ali ako kažete da ne radi, ja vam vjerujem na riječ. Kome treba ostalom $100,000? Općenito, po pitanju percepcije stvarnosti, evo da se vratimo na doktora Hugha Lena, a nije on jedni koji je zbrajao te brojke, koliko svjesniju može registrirati informacija oko 15 u sekundi, dok ima oko 15 milijuna informacija oko njega. Bilo je drugih formula koje su pokušavale doći do toga. Oni također, kada već pričamo o mentalnim programima, konceptima, što je to percepcija stvarnosti, gdje se ona nalazi, da li se svijet odvija izvana prema unutra ili iznutra prema van, ipak je zanimljivo razmotriti još jednu malu hranu za jednu podjelu koju se isto može čuti kod mnogih, pa i kod doktora Lena, znači podjelu na podsvijest, dobro poznatu, svijest, još bolje poznatu, i nadsvijest. Kako te tri razine funkcioniraju i na koji način je Ho'oponopono ugrađen u dakle, interakciju između ta tri sloja?
Perfect. So remember I said the intellect doesn't know everything, that cannot see the whole picture because it's only conscious of those 15 bits of information when we actually have 11 million bits of information per second. So a lot of people practice thinking positive, you know, and you say, how come if I'm so positive? Yeah, but the 11 million that are playing, and it plays in all of us, I don't deserve it, I was born poor, I'm going to die poor, you know, and all the things that we decided to believe that are playing at the same time. So how does the cleaning work? The cleaning work starts with the intellect. The intellect was given to us to choose. On the way, we got a little bit confused, and we thought it was given to us to get educated, okay, and fill it out with knowledge. But that really kind of distance ourselves even more from truth, okay? And we are dangerous, like I said before, because now we think we know. So the intellect was given to us to choose. So moment by moment, the intellect is the one that is saying, I'm going to talk to the monitor, I'm going to be right, have the last word, you know, or I'm going to say, I'm sorry for whatever is in me, and press the delete key, okay? So it starts with the intellect. And when the intellect chooses to let go, it's like an order that goes to the subconscious mind, our inner child in us. That inner child that is running, like I said before, doing the breathing for us in automatic, we don't think about it. This is the part of us that can do this cleaning in automatic too. So it goes from the intellect to the subconscious mind, and it's this child in us and the subconscious that sends the order to the superconscious. The superconscious is the perfect part in us. We are perfect. What are not perfect are the programs, okay? But we are perfect, and we do have a perfect part. But this perfect part knows that everything is perfect. All our problems are perfect and blessings, even if they don't look like. And this is the part that is always connected to the universe. So as soon as the intellect decides, it goes the order and makes the connection, immediately comes mana or divine energy that is the one erasing whatever I'm ready to let go. And when it erases it from me, like I said before too, erases it from everybody and all the line, you know, my ancestors, my grandchildren that are not born yet, but they will not come with that memory because I erase it. So if, like I said before, if I'm okay, my kids are going to be okay. If I'm okay, my mother in Argentina will be okay. All I have to take care is of myself. I have to be okay. And then everybody, I cannot give anything that I don't have. So I work on myself, like I call it the easiest way, and suddenly things kind of open up, doors starts opening up, things happen, you know. I end up in Croatia, you know, in the show with you. But those things, you have to allow them to happen. If you are too attached, or if you think you know what is right, then you missed it. So you allow for things to happen, you trust, you accept, and definitely you want to work more with that connection that we all have. And when you do the cleaning, it's like you are in balance, and you are connected directly to the whole universe. You are not alone. And suddenly, like I said, the solutions come. you know, I always said we need to stop asking the wrong questions and looking in the wrong places. So the thank you and the I love you are kind of asking the right questions. It's giving permission to this part of me to help me. It's asking for the help. We don't have to do it alone.
Neki ljudi su pitali ako je to toliko efikasna tehnika Ho'oponopono. Konkretno su se referirali na ona 4 pitanja na način na koje je to Joe Vitala prezentirao. Dakle, žao mi i oprosti mi, hvala ti, molim te. Zašto moraju to stalno ponavljati ako su to jednom već napravili? Naravno, odgovor se vjerojatno krije u činjenici da i ona druga strana neprekidno radi.
Okay. So the memories are playing all the time. So I always tell people, the antivirus in your computer, you put it only in the morning and at night, or you want the antivirus working all the time. So, you know, Ho'oponopono is like the antivirus. So, for example, in the seminar, we download, it's like downloading new programs, see? Reminding ourselves that we have this program in us. So once and we create this connection with the inner child. Why? Because you're not going to do it all the time because your intellect will engage and forget to say the thank you and the I love you. But you can have your subconscious mind in automatic, like it does. So those are the things that we work, for example, in the seminar. How I can do this 24 hours a day. Or what tools I could use that even when I forget to clean or I forget to let go and I engage, you know, the cleaning will keep going. So there are different things that can help us. And this inner child is observing us like our kids observe us, you know? So if we are consistent and we keep doing and we are willing to take responsibility, the child will do it for us.
Je li točno da su krajem 20. stoljeća sudovi na Havajima počeli praksu dodjeljivanja, znači provođenja Ho'oponopono procesa obiteljima prestupnika i na sličan način pokazali da su na neki način prepoznali tu tehniku kao nešto što se može čak, kao što vidimo, institucionalizirati kroz sudove?
It started a little bit on the course or everything, but not as far as I know, no. Because like Hija Liakala once told me, he says, to Hawaii, you know, people think you go to Hawaii, everybody practices Ho'oponopono. Some people have never heard of the word. See, in Hawaii also all religions came and philosophies and things like that. So not everybody even knows about Ho'oponopono.
Drugim riječima, da bi se prakticirao Ho'oponopono, ne treba se čak ni znati u čemu je problem ili pogreška, kao što ne znamo kako radi onaj motor u automobilu. Očigledno je da nije samo riječ o nečem što služi za rješavanje sukoba, problema, liječenje, recimo, ne znam, prijestupnika u psihijatrijskoj klinici ili kriminalaca i slično. Kako se Ho'oponopono manifestira na stvari koje nam se čine da nadilaze naše odnose obiteljske ili samo sukobe, znači konkretne stvari kao što su recimo posao, znači stvari koje se mogu izmjeriti u brojkama, ide li ti ili ti ne ide u nekom razdoblju, to je dosta jednostavno za ustanoviti za razliku od ovih fluidnih međuljudskih odnosa koji tako neprekidno se mijenjaju, klize i tako.
Well, one is my relationship with my kids. I mean, amazing. I mean, it's hard to explain how could I always had, since I woke up, I had this relationship with my kids, no? When they were growing up as adolescents, now they are adults, and still, I mean, it's an amazing relationship. So that's the first one that I want to mention. I got divorced, and a friend of mine tells me, why don't we move in together so we can have a better place, a nicer place. I found that better, nicer, bigger place immediately. But 2 days before signing the contract, my friend says, I changed my mind. I'm going to move to Arizona. Okay, so the first thing, as everybody, I have my own program. How come? It was her idea. How come she does this to me, you know? But immediately that I start, thank you, thank you, thank you, I get another thought, different. And he says, I'm going to call the person from the realty, and I'm going to tell her that I'm going to be the responsible person financially. I called her, she didn't have any problem. And a couple of weeks later, as I moved into the place, I couldn't afford this place by myself, okay? But the Ho'oponopono made me do things illogical things, you know, things that didn't make sense. And from that, I can tell you amazing stories. So I moved to the place. 2 weeks later, so much work started coming to me that I realized I don't need to share that place with anybody. I can pay it myself, okay? I don't need help from anybody. At the same time that I get divorced, the logical thing would have been to go back to the CPA office and work for a salary, have benefits, you know, something, you know, secure, no safety. No, I have the idea that I'm going to start my own practice. I mean, amazing. But, you know, I started my own practice, and people would start from nowhere. They would get my phone from I don't know who. And they said, we have a tax problem, and we need, you know, somebody to represent us before the IRS, you know, the government in U.S. You know, the results that I can tell you from audits, where auditors just transform in front of me, the results that I got from audits, from keeping my mouth shut and saying, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, amazing. They placed my house 9 months later, so I'm start renting, and the owner calls me 9 months later and says, Mabel, I know you love this place, but I'm going to put it for sale. So if you cannot afford to buy it, you will have to leave. What did my intellect, my programs told me? Start packing, you know, you cannot afford to buy it. And when I start, thank you, another thought comes, and it says, you know, if this is the place for me, God will find me the loan, because I can't. I'm an accountant and I know what I need. There is no way. So I kept doing the cleaning. And, you know, the story is a little bit longer. You know, the lease was expired and the owner told me, I'm going to extend it. And then by the extension, I got the loan. The loan got it, you know, from somebody that called me. I mean, I like those things. I like those things where I don't have to worry, where I don't really have to know where the money's going to come or how, when, or where. But I just know in my heart that as long as I'm doing this, there is nothing I need to worry. I used to be a person that worried about everything. I used to, you know, my kids used to tell me, you know, Mom, your problem is that you worry too much.
To je vjerojatno problem mnogih ljudi. U svakom slučaju, kada je riječ o pričama punim sinkroniciteta i tih kao znakova, dakle ono što čovjek doživljava kao neki znak i putokaz, općenito je takve priče nemoguće prenijeti bez da se uđe u sve one sitne detalje i sitno tkivo koje takve priče čine nekako živima. I to je vjerojatno iskustvo koje mnogi drugi imaju. Želiš ispričati neku sitnicu, treba ti 2 sata da objasniš kako je to čudesno. No, za kraj ove emisije, s obzirom da je to, koliko znam, a možda i griješim, do sad nije bilo u Hrvatskoj seminara Ho'oponopono, to jest ovaj 1. i 2. prosinca 2012. će biti prvi. Što je ono što najčešće čujete kao pitanje od ljudi na seminarima? Kad biste izdvojili 1 ili 2 pitanja koje ljudi najčešće pitaju kad čuju da čovjek može sebi riješiti probleme govoreći hvala, što je to što njih najviše zanima?
Okay, so they always ask, do I have to mean it? Do I have to feel it, you know? And then I ask them to really open their minds, because I said everything I'm going to tell you, it doesn't make any sense. So more open your hearts and try to understand it with your heart. So the usual question is okay, Mabel, but how you let go? You know, you give them a lot of information, but the intellect still wants a process, you know, give me the steps. So it's about letting go, showing them that every time that I let go, I go back to balance. I'm one with the universe, and the solution just come because I am one. That if I'm thinking, the worst thing I can do when a problem comes is thinking or engaging with my emotions, because then I'm alone and things get hard. They ask me how it works sometimes with the ancestors, because a lot of people, even though that they are there and they come because they know the benefits of coming to the seminar, because of everything that gets erased during the seminar, because of the preparation and because of I must clean all the time so that I can come from inspiration and know what I think is right for you. So basically, I always tell them, you know, when you come to the seminar, you bring your ancestors. and your ancestors are all here crossing their fingers. I said, oh, we hope they get it, you know, because whatever gets erased from us, it gets erased from them, and they get the benefit. So there are a lot of benefits of just being there, because people shows up and everything that we get to clean with, because we are all family. The other thing that I noticed, because I do really travel the world with this, is that we are all family. We are all talking about the same thing, maybe calling it different names. And it happened to me, for example, in England, where actually a Christian lady was really kind of questioning me about what I was talking, or where I got the information. And suddenly she realizes that everything that I was saying, it was in the scriptures. Mm-hmm. So I would say something and she would recite the scriptures. And then there were Muslims in the audience. So the Muslim says, but that's the same that in the Quran. So we ended up really confirming. I said, we are all family. We are just talking about the same thing, calling it different names.
Hvala vam na ovom gostovanju i želim vam sreću ili thank you. Hona ponovo i sve drugo što ide. A vama pak želim ne 4 riječi, već imam ja neke čarobne riječi koje obično koristimo u ovo doba. To su, znate, već klasične, ništa spektakularno, ali vjerujem da ipak mogu donijeti bar neku dobrobit u vaš život. Laku noć.
Hoće li i u 10. emisiji Volim Hrvatsku biti